Okay, time now to take our look at the international newspapers, and our press reviewer Diptyque Laurent is back with us in studio for a look at that. Diptyque, you're going to start with an article from the Washington Post which looks actually at investigations into a spate of African-American men found hanging.
Yeah, these were discovered on the sidelines of the Black Lives Matter uprising, and the Washington Post says some of the ugliest, most resonant symbols of white resistance to the civil rights movement have come to light. The Post is looking at multiple black men who were found hanging from tree branches and cross burnings in the South that are now under investigation. In the case of one of those men, Robert Fuller, his death, he was found hanging in Palmdale, California. His death was ruled a suicide by local authorities, but local residents have demanded an independent inquiry. And for the Post, it's really proof of how little trust there is now in police departments to conduct transparent inquiries. In this community of Palmdale, for instance, Black and Latino residents make up over 70%. And they say they're frequently targeted by police. In fact, one of the activists interviewed by the Post is quoted as saying that leadership in Palmdale holds similar views to white residents who resist integration and have always resisted integration, but that they can't express those views.
Gosh. Meanwhile, a high-profile investigative journalist has been summoned by judicial authorities in Morocco.
Yeah, this story is really about freedom of the press, I guess, in Morocco. Le Monde reports that Omar Radi has been summoned. He's accused of allegedly receiving foreign financing in exchange for sharing confidential information about Morocco. For Radi, though, the timing is more than suspicious. It comes just 2 days after his name came up in an Amnesty International report which accused Moroccan authorities of spying on him using Israeli technology. Omar Radi was also found guilty of a tweet earlier this year critiquing Moroccan justice.
Moving on to happier story now. Tanzania, where a miner has become a millionaire overnight with a pretty major find.
He's actually become a billionaire in his local currency. That's even better. His name is Sunny Newlizer. He found 2 dark violet blue gemstones weighing in at about 14 kilos in total actually. It's the biggest finding in the history of the country. He's now sold these gemstones to the government for over $3 million, but far from, buying himself a lavish car or house. He told the BBC that he wants to build a shopping mall and a school for people in his community who can't afford to send their kids to school. He is, though, going to have a party at least.
I hope so. 3.3 million, a lot, but one wonders how much those gems will actually bring in the long run. Meanwhile, Diptyque, let's talk about a viral video from earlier this month that is continuing to make waves. It's an American mom who posted a video showing us how, well, if I may, how not to make tea.
Yes, that's right. And she actually managed to offend a whole nation in the process and go viral. That short video went viral because it shows her, microwaving water, pouring milk, and then adding the tea bag, a process that completely goes contrary to the way the Brits make tea. It's even reached the UK's embassy in the US, where Ambassador Karen Pierce posted her own video of how you should really be making tea. She even then calls in the British military, the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force, who in turn posted short little videos of how to make tea, even when you have limited resources. The ambassador reminding people, after all, that the UK-US relationship is founded on tea, in reference to the Boston Tea Party.
Gosh, yeah, I have to say I already had issue with how tea is handed in cafes here, but we won't get into that. Finally, Diptyque, let's end with an unusual casting call for a new Lord of the Rings TV series.
That's right. A New Zealand agency, because Lord of the Rings it's a TV series, a massive production that's currently being filmed in New Zealand. A New Zealand agency posted an ad on Facebook, basically calling on quote funky-looking people. The more unusual, the better. It's not quite the ad call that you might find in normal movies. Specifically, they want actors with acne scars, deep cheekbones, facial lines, large eyes, bulbous noses, missing bones, anything that you've got that's weird or unusual, they want it. They also want lots of redheads. So if you fit the bill, apply straight away. You never know. You could be in the next Lord of the Rings series.
But what will the scene be? That's what I would want to know before getting involved. Diptyque Laurent, thanks a lot for that look at the international papers.